good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. It is Monday. It is July 10th. It is almost the middle of the month. I can't believe this. I'm going to talk about my weekend and then get to my guest real quick. Friday night, I went into the city for Murdered by the Mob. As most of you know, I do Murdered by the Mob, and I'm an understudy. And I am learning another part for the show. It's a main character. So I actually went into the city with Ralph Bracco and watched the show and was studying the person's character. And of course, it's such a fun show. Go to murderedbythemob.com. Come to a show, check it out. It's like going to a big Italian wedding. Someone gets whacked, and then you got to figure out who did it. There's singing, there's dancing. It's just so much fun. So I did that on Friday night. Saturday, I actually stayed home, chilled, relaxed, and I started watching Gravesend. Gravesend is, there it is, Gravesend. It's all my friends are in Gravesend. Yes. William DeMeo was actually on the Today Show today talking about Gravesend with Mario Cantone, and you have Chaz Palminteri and Dice Clay and Fran Drescher, Amanda Sante, and Sophia Milos, and so many more people that are in the show. So it's on Amazon Prime. Check it out. I watched 2 of the 8 episodes so far, so I'll probably be watching the rest of them sometime this week or this weekend. A lot of fun. I'm in it. Look for me. And then Sunday, of course, is laundry. We all need clean underwear. So it was laundry. And I was supposed to come here last night for limo talk. And unfortunately, I didn't make it in. I was in Bethpage with a friend. But I heard the guys had a lot of fun. They missed me, but I heard it was a lot of fun. And they had a lot of laughs. So I'm excited about that. And lastly, Rescuing Families is having a huge sale Saturday. Today, if you're watching us on Optimum right now, because we're on channel 20 at 11 a.m. every Saturday, as soon as my show is over, go take a ride to Franklin Square and help Rescuing Families. They renovate homes for people with disabilities. It's a great, great, great charity. Go see my friends Vinny and Gina. All right, so let me get to my guest. So I am so excited right now because Matt is a friend of mine. We actually met in acting school together. And he is an actor. He's an upcoming actor, and he's a wonderful actor. We did a movie together, and we're going to talk about that later. But seeing Matt on screen is, I know you saw my post, but to me, it was like watching a young Richard Gere.
Oh, stop.
Seriously. So he's
he's
so talented and so amazing, and I want everyone to get to know him and you know, and just go to his website. We're going to give out all that information too. Just see what he's doing, where he's doing it, when he's doing it. So Matt Venturi is with me. Hi, Matt.
Hi. Thank you very much for having me.
I'm so
it's
happy
like
you're here.
Quite a cast of pictures you had up there. I feel like the low man on the totem pole, you know? But it's nice. I appreciate being here, and feel like we've had so many good projects that we worked on together. It really is nice. We always had a good chemistry through class and whatnot.
Yes, we always did well together.
I always appreciated it.
So you're originally from Garden City?
Garden City.
Went to Garden City High School?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And then what kind of kid were you in school? Were you into the arts or were you into sports?
I was definitely not in the arts. I was in sports. Not the best athlete out on the field. I was actually, I rode the bench for most of the sports that I played, but I did end up going to college for lacrosse, played lacrosse in college. And this
did you get a scholarship for that?
Well, financial aid, Division III, you know.
Okay.
But they call it financial
Well,
aid.
that's not too shabby.
I got money, which was nice. It helped.
You did?
It helped.
That was in Allentown, PA? You went to what college?
Muhlenberg College. Which, funny enough.
Which I never heard of before,
Yes,
so I had to look up where it was.
School. Yeah. And funny enough, Muhlenberg, I don't know if it still is, but when I was going there, it's actually top 10 every year in theater.
Really?
Yep. And
interesting, but you did not major in theater.
Well, you would have thought that I spent any of my tuition to take an acting class, but I didn't even know. If you would have asked me when I was in college, even right after I graduated, if I would be an actor, I would have laughed in your face.
Really?
So, yeah, truly.
Well, what did you want to be when you grew up? What were your aspirations?
I didn't know. I wasn't sure yet.
Yeah,
you know,
that's okay.
I always give a lot of praise and admiration to my sister, my younger sister Danielle.
Yeah.
She knew.
Hi Danielle.
Hi Danielle. How are you? She knew from even junior year of high school. She's an occupational therapist, and she knew from junior year that's what she wanted to do.
Right.
She was looking at colleges for it. Went through the whole system. She ended up going to Quinnipiac. And she graduated and got a job, and I give her a lot of credit for like keeping
following
on that
her
path.
passion.
Yeah. I mean, she's my younger sister, by age, but I definitely look up to her a lot. So.
Oh, that's sweet.
And my younger
That's
brother
really
Mark,
nice.
I look up to him too.
Yes. Okay, so you're the only one who ended up with, I guess, the acting bug later on in life. But you
Yes.
actually you graduated with a BA in communications.
I did.
And I was telling you before the show, I actually went to Queens College and majored in communications media because my parents were not supportive when I told them I wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
So they're like, you really need something that's steady.
Oh,
and
of course.
So I said, okay, I want to be a news reporter because I could be in front of the camera that way.
No worries.
And that's why I went into communication media. How did you know what you wanted to major in at the time and, what you might have wanted to do with it?
I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I guess I just I was going to college. Like I said, I put all my eggs kind of in the lacrosse basket. Even though I wasn't huge in high school, I played in college and focused on that. And communication was just a very, a lot of kids did business or accounting, finance, all those very general topics that you can focus in on once you're inside of those majors.
Right.
But I picked communications because it just seemed most suitable for myself.
Right.
And my application, I guess talking to people is my strong suit for the most part.
Okay.
And so that's kind of just, I rode that wave.
Yeah. So let's talk about how you did get into acting because I know you were working in Manhattan for a year. So what were you doing in Manhattan as far as work goes?
I was an account manager and a sales representative for a company, an HVAC company that was based out of Queens Village, but they did a lot of their work in the city. And so HVAC, which is air conditioning, heating, all that. Yeah. And my busiest days of the year were the hottest days of the summer.
Of course,
yeah.
absolutely.
And so running around in a button down and a tie in the middle of the summer, 90 degrees, it's not ideal.
No,
it's not ideal at all. And somewhere along the way, someone suggested, why don't you take an acting class? Maybe you have the look, maybe you have the, the character for it. And
was this a coworker of yours or just a friend in general?
I think it might have been a friend. I don't exactly remember who it was, but I'm very grateful for them.
Okay.
Now.
I'm sure if they're watching, they'll remind you.
Yes, that anonymous individual. And so they suggested it.
It was an improv class or an acting class?
It was improv.
So it was an improv,
yes,
which
it
is,
was.
That's wild.
I never would have, if it was a scripted class.
And that was at
probably,
HB Studios.
It was
in the city.
Yeah. So it was good. It was a great experience. It was freeing to get up on stage and embrace a different character other than my own. Every day you're Matt Ventry, and it's nice to be, it was nice to, assume the role of someone else for a little bit.
Right,
and that's kind of how I got hooked on it,
Really?
And I mentioned earlier, I never liked doing presentations, never liked standing up in front of the class. I don't like to be really the center of attention.
Right.
And so people always ask me, how are you an actor then?
Yeah,
you're in
because
front of audiences, you're in
it's
front of
the total
cameras.
opposite
And
of
I don't
what
know.
you're describing.
I find peace in the fact that, when people watch a movie, TV show, a theater performance, it's not Matt anymore. Now it's this character that they're now judging. So it's kind of how I can hide behind the character.
Yeah. So how long were you at HB and how long did you do that? Did you take was it a certain amount of classes or?
I think I went through one round of classes, so it must have been, no, I'm sorry, no, it was 2 rounds of classes. And I think each round was maybe 10 to 15 classes. It was a while ago now. But I started with improv, then I went to scripted acting and acting 1, the basics.
Yeah.
And And then from there, I moved out to Long Island. You know, I had enough of...
Were you living in Manhattan while you were working there?
No, just I was working in Manhattan.
Yeah.
I would go straight from work to these classes at night.
Okay.
Didn't tell my job that I was taking these classes in the middle of the night. Just told them I had other obligations.
Yeah.
And yeah, running from class that got out at 10 to the subway and then sprinting to the last train to get home.
Wow.
It got old after a while.
Yeah.
So, and rehearsals, you know, back then this was prior to COVID, so Zoom and FaceTime, it wasn't really the norm yet.
Right.
So rehearsing, I'd have to go into the city, all my partners would be in the city, my co-actors, and it got to be a little bit of a task every time I wanted to rehearse.
Yeah.
And I only felt comfortable when I rehearsed with anybody.
Now you mentioned COVID, and how did COVID affect you as far as it affected all of us as far as acting goes, but how did it affect you in other aspects of your life?
Well, you know, I had a lot of time to myself. Me and a friend, he had a small business that he started up. It was like a military style business where he actually sewed military grade holsters, plate carriers, everything of that type.
Okay.
And I kind of got into it. So we were in his garage learning how to sew.
That's cool.
And I was taking Zoom classes with acting, which, as you know, even with the auditions, the way the world is now with acting, it's very difficult to get those emotions out through a screen.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
acting
It's
is
hard. It's hard. I love auditioning in person. It's it's a different animal.
Letting the casting directors get to know who you are, as opposed to them just seeing an individual through a screen, it's a completely different game.
Yeah,
so
it is.
A lot has changed.
Yeah, and with the self-tapes now, it's like you have to be a camera person and a sound person, and you have to do everything normally that you wouldn't have to worry about. I mean,
Sure.
and yeah, okay, you could take the best take. You could do it 3 times, and maybe the 4th time's the charm or whatever, and take the best one and submit. But it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes, you know what I mean? Because I'm a people person, and I love, like you said,
getting in there and being yourself.
Right, exactly.
Letting them know who Theresa is.
Yeah, exactly. I went to a reading in Astoria not that long ago, and there was a guy opposite the table, and I was just being myself, and he goes, "You have such great energy," and I'm like, "Thank you," and that's what I want to come across. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's totally different. All right, so listen, we're going to take my first break, but when we come back, stay where you are because there's so much more to talk about with Matt. Don't go away.
Well, hi there, Theresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Theresa. Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. I have my friend and actor, Matt Ventry, here with me. He is new in the industry. He's done a few things that he has under his belt. He's done a commercial and theater and film and TV, and we're going to get into it. And then, yes, we did a project together, which we're going to show a clip a little later, and I'm so excited about that. So, yes, you did one commercial for a financial company in Deer Park, which is nice because it's local. I did a local commercial for a dentist.
There you go.
In the Long Island area. So that was a lot of fun.
The one funny thing about that commercial was I actually got texted by a friend. She was like, "Hey, I just saw you on TV." No, I'm sorry. It was my best friend's mom.
Yeah.
And she's like an aunt to me. I know her very well.
Yeah.
And she reached out to me. She's like, "Matt, I just saw you on a commercial." And in my head, I'm like, she probably just saw somebody else. Didn't thought it was me. It wasn't me. Just like. confuse me for somebody else.
Because sometimes we forget what we do.
Absolutely.
And what we've done, and then we don't realize that we can be seen.
And I didn't think it was going to air. I didn't think it was going to make it anywhere, let alone. And she's like, "Yeah, I saw you on a News 12 commercial." And I'm like,
"That's so
okay.
cool."
And I blew it off. I'm like, "No, it wasn't me."
Yeah.
And a couple months later, one of my friends reached out to me. She's like, "Hey, I just saw you on a commercial." I'm like, "What? Where?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's this other commercial." And I'm trying to think in my head. I'm like,
what did I do?
Yeah. I'm like, is someone scamming me? Like, where did they get my material from? But no, it ended up being a commercial that I did, must have been a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And, with editing and whatnot, we were talking about that before, it takes a lot of time for these things to, really come to fruition.
I mean, people don't realize you make a movie and it takes at least a year for it to come out. A year later, there's a lot of things that you can't talk about. Obviously you sign non-disclosure agreements, but and then once it comes out, you're like, oh, I'm so excited that's out. And you've done theater. You did A Few Good Men with the Actors Workshop Theater, and you've done Sexual Perversity and Lobby Hero. But we have a picture of you on stage in Frank, say it again?
Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. And there you are. And tell me, where was that? Was at Long Island?
Studio Theater.
Yeah,
in
Studio
Lindenhurst.
Theater. In Lindenhurst, yeah.
Yep.
And then there's another one of the three of you, yeah. So let me ask you a question. So you've done theater, you've done TV, you've done movies. I mean, where do you feel is the most comfortable if you have one in particular that you like more than the other?
I guess I would say movies. Like that's been the most experience that I've had.
Right.
Like I said, I only started in 2018, but I do have I'm very grateful for all the experiences that I've had so far in my career.
Yeah.
And but movies. I think movie, having the story go through. I'm sure it's the same thing. Movie and TV. They're kind of one on one with each other.
Yeah.
Theater. Those pictures are from most
theater.
recent.
There's nothing like live theater, though. When you get that
very
gratification right away, it can be nerve-wracking because it's live. Obviously, there's no do-overs.
Right.
But with your improv background,
yes.
I'm sure that helped immensely on stage if you had to pick up something somewhere or forgot a word or a line, and I'm sure you have great recovery because the improv is that's a huge thing to have, in your arsenal, so to speak.
Yeah, of course. It did. It definitely helped. But there's nothing like, they always say like to have the freedom on stage, that a lot of actors, they live for that. That when you're on stage and once the curtain opens, the director has no say anymore.
Correct.
He
can't yell cut.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe because I got into it so recently, but I have the opposite perspective. I almost I want to have a personal relationship with the director. If it's not exactly how he wants it, I want him to call cut, tell me how to do it, and then I'll give my own take on it.
Right,
but I
interpretation.
need to have that connection with him to know that what he wants in
His
the camera,
vision.
exactly, that it's coming out the way he wants it to be.
Yeah.
I'll find my confidence through the director's confidence in me.
Right.
And that's kind of how I've gone through a lot of my life. I've said it before. It's like I find confidence in those around me that are confident.
Yeah.
I guess we call it it's like the extroverted introvert way, where you feed off of others' confidence. But I really
like
do.
That.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, you got into film and TV. You did They Are Not Named, which was a short.
It was.
Which you did.
That was the first. That was actually, I think.
And you were a lead.
The first thing I ever did in acting.
Yeah.
And it was for a Hofstra individual. She was the director of it. It was for a final project, and.
Emma Sample.
Yep, and I went to Hofstra one day. We filmed the whole thing, and another very fun experience.
Yeah.
And I showed up not knowing anything, like shaking with my script.
But what's good advice is you just said that was the first thing you did. So would you recommend to young actors, older actors, first-time actors who are just starting in the industry, would you recommend them to do, again, student films and get themselves involved in something that isn't mainstream all the time?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is one of those businesses, as you know, where if you're not accustomed to failure, you will never make it. You have to have thick skin in this industry.
Yes.
And you have to know that even though you get told no 1,000 times, that you still have what it takes. It's just a matter of the right role coming its way for you. And I tell all young actors that go on websites now. There's so many things that you could use: Backstage, one-on-one, Actors Connection. Go on all these, and the most important thing that I think is take classes at a local theater.
Yeah.
We have Chris. We've got the Actors Workshop in Long Island.
It's so
shout out
important
to Chris Cardona.
to it's like playing an instrument.
Yes.
You know, every day you have to play it and get better at it. And then, you know, for us, it's either, you know, a monologue or learning a scene, just something to keep sharp.
Yeah.
Because you get, like anything else, you get like a little rusty.
Absolutely.
You know?
And it's also just a matter of like, you know, you do a scene so many times, and then once you step into the room, there's always these new emotions when you go into an audition. It's like, you could be an amazing actor, but acting and auditioning are two completely different beasts.
Yeah, they
and
are.
You never know how you're going to react. Waiting on that line, waiting in the waiting room on Zoom, which I can't stand.
It could be nerve-wracking.
It really is. It's horrible.
I don't think I auditioned for anything, well, live on Zoom. I've submitted, but no, I don't think I've done that.
Yeah, well, I've done, you know, the ones for like agents. It's like an agent seminar now, or a manager seminar.
Yeah, get you in front of people.
Yes, and waiting in those waiting rooms, it's like, okay, you'll be up in X amount of time. We'll just like open up the room, and it's like, okay, what do I do to wait? Like, I found myself one time I was walking on the treadmill, you know, just like to like, or doing any kind of an exercise, just like to keep my heart rate down.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just.
It is.
You find little tricks.
And that's the thing is, you know, your adrenaline gets going, and you're trying to like stay calm in the zone.
Yeah.
You know, you get pretty much one shot at it, and you want to nail it.
do.
So I get it. You did Round Table, which was a short also.
That one taught me.
And a lead. Hello, a lead again.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
a lot of it when I first started
You're getting some. You know, you played a lead a lot more than once. After that, you did The Bed You Made, which was also a short, and again, hello, lead role.
Yeah, they were all very good experiences. I'm not going to get into any particulars, but there are a couple of those that you named that I actually never saw the final product.
Really?
And that
happens a lot.
Another lesson to be learned is, you know, you get a lot of these experiences, but if you're waiting around for if you're waiting around for that you know, piece that you did, that character that you played, if you're waiting for that role to come out, you know, that film to find the final product to really come out, you're wasting your time.
Yeah,
it's like, do whatever you're doing and move on to the next thing.
I know
and when you get it, great, but don't expect it to be there anytime soon.
No, friends and I did a film, and I'm not going to mention the name of it, that started 6 years ago, and I came in a couple of years ago.
Really?
And we still, no one's seen it. We don't know what's happening with it. We don't know what's going on with it. And there are some big names in that as well. So you do a project and you hope
It's just a hope.
that someone either sees it or it goes somewhere, whether it's a festival or streaming, something, just something. Because as actors, we want to be seen. We want people to see what we can bring to the table, what we offer, you know.
As long as it's good work.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing, too. You know, you want your work to be good. You in Crazy Stupid Love, which was a short, again, played the lead.
Yes, that was another student film. It just, you know, a lot of these things just, the biggest part of it is you never know who you're going to work with.
That's the thing.
Never know the quality
You
of
make
the actor
connections
and the quality of the director
and
you're gonna work
networking.
with. And I think doing these student films, you know, everyone makes mistakes, but especially students when they're nervous doing final projects, things of that nature. It's almost nice to you know, brace yourself by taking some of these classes with some of these people that maybe they will make a mistake, but then you learn. You have that experience like anything else. It's just, you know, learning from these experiences that you've gone through and these mistakes that you made. So I appreciate every one of them.
Yeah, no, I do too. Skip, which was a feature film, and I was supposed to be in that, and I don't know what happened. They said you got the part, but they never filmed my scene as the teacher. I don't know what happened with that. Did you see it?
No.
No. Okay, that was
Another
something else
one
that was never
might
seen.
have. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just saying, Manhattan South. That was a pilot. Again, you played the lead.
Yes.
I know a lot of people in our acting class was in that. It was a great experience for everybody
amazing.
to do that. That was like awesome. Dinner for Two was a feature.
Yes.
And was that the one where you played the waiter?
The server,
yes, the
yeah.
server. We have a picture of that. We have a pic of that. Yeah,
Yes.
there it is. That was the premiere.
It
And
was.
if you look to the left, with you're standing there with the vest and the tie.
Yes.
In the picture.
Yes.
As Dinner for Two, you were the server. And that was another, you know, you could go to mattventry.com. He has a website, and he actually has, you know, scenes from it's a part of your reel, so you could
Mm-hmm.
always go to his website and check that out. That looked like that was fun to film.
Yeah, it was great. Well, listen, when you first start out, you're not getting paid for anything. You gotta just settle
Well,
with it.
yeah,
You're
I
not
mean, in
getting
the
paid for
beginning,
anything.
But the credit.
especially shorts and
Yeah.
and indies, depending on their budget.
Yeah,
but a
but-
lot of this stuff you do for free because you have to build your
The
reel.
material.
And,
That's what's
and
valuable.
again, experience.
Is getting your material, getting your credits, like you said, but just getting a handle of that material that you have, the film by itself, and then being able to cut it up into a reel. That's what you really need. That's the bread and butter of getting to the next
right,
step.
to show, again, people what you can bring to the table. You were in a short called Comma. You played supporting. Lifters, not letters, Lifters, which was, again, another pilot supporting. And that takes us to what Matt and I did together. But before we get into that, we had to audition for that.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we're not going to show anything from it right now, but we had to audition. I think that was in Lindenhurst also.
Mine was through Zoom.
It was.
Because I was
Oh,
actually...
you weren't there that day.
No, I was not.
Because I didn't see you.
I got invited after the fact.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how it... I don't recall exactly how it ended up in my lap, but I think that maybe someone showed up they thought was right for the role.
Okay.
That individual couldn't make it work. Maybe he had other
Right,
conflicts.
right.
And so it just got tossed onto my lap. I guess they emailed me. Maybe they saw my website, and it ended up being a home run for me.
Well, we're going to talk about It's Love Bro when we come back from the break. So stay right there. We'll be back after this. Don't go away.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
How you doing? It's Sal the Voice Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Theresa Canastraci Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Theresa on Facebook, Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. Thank you for everyone watching the show, liking it, sharing it, telling everyone about it. We're live on YouTube and Facebook every Monday night at 8 o'clock. And then my show goes to Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, everywhere podcasts can be heard and seen every Saturday at 11 a.m. on Channel 20. I'm sure Bruno, my phone's not working right now. I don't know why, it's on the fritz. But I'm sure Bruno's watching, and Ann and Michael Norton and Greg DiFilippo and everyone who watches every week. Thank you so much. I appreciate your love and support. I'm with Matt Ventry. He's an actor. And before the break, we were going to get into Love Bro. But before we get into Love Bro, you actually did a horror short?
I did.
A horror flick?
Yeah, Renters.
Renters.
Yes, it was small. Director TJ Kiss, shout out to TJ.
Yeah.
It was shot in the Jersey Shore, very low budget, and that's the interesting thing is that you don't see a lot of low budget horror films because it takes so much work to get a horror film to come out the way you want it to. Like it's so much behind the scenes and editing and just the quality of it. To have it be where the standard most people have, it's very difficult on a low budget. But I give TJ and the whole crew, they did a great job. It was second to none, and it really, I think it shined. It did a good job.
Well, I'm gonna send him this so he sees that we talked about him. All right, so let's get to It's Love Bro. It's Love Bro. Before we put up any pics, and we're gonna first say that George Massimillo is an amazing director and writer.
Yes,
and I want to thank you, George, for casting me. Matt here plays Bob, who's the lead of the movie.
Yes.
And I play his mom. And Frank Fiella plays his dad. And I brought to the premiere. You brought your mom and your dad.
I did.
And we're going to show a picture of mom and dad in a moment. There's mom and dad. Hi, look at them. They're so beautiful because you sat right behind us. We're gonna wait for the next pick. But you sat behind us.
Yes.
I brought my mom with me, my girlfriend Doreen, my girlfriend Raquel, and my friend Terrell, who's also an actor. And my mom thought you were adorable.
Aww.
She's like, oh my
Thank
God,
you.
he's so cute. And I go, he was sitting behind us. And she goes, no, I had no idea. And I told my mom before the movie, I said, I know that the scenes that I did with Frank are very funny.
Oh, they were hilarious.
I said, I don't know how the rest of the movie is going to be.
Yeah.
I said, it could be great. I says, I don't know what to tell you, what to expect. I'm going to be seeing it for the first time, as you are. And we had proud parents there that night with us.
If I can make my parents proud, that's the biggest thing. It's like, and it's like they are the ones that support me the most. Them and my family, my brother and sister. They're my critics. I love them, but
you have to have a few.
Yeah, my mom's a little biased. My dad's a little bit more real. My brother and sister, they'll tell me, like, listen, Matt, that was horrible.
And your parents,
or that was really good. Like my brother and sister, if they watch it and they like it.
Yeah, that's
how I know. Yeah.
Well, my daughter breaks my chops all the time, and I've said this before. She's like, I really don't care what you're doing until you're on Law and Order. I'm like, really?
There you go.
But that's the way she feels. I'm like, okay, I have to respect that. But your parents are actually from Queens. Your mom went to Franny Lou with around the same time I did, and I was throwing out names to her, but I had such a great time talking to your parents. They're such great people. And again, we had proud parents there that night, and to our surprise, I mean, you did an amazing job. You played the lead. You played Bob.
Thank you very much.
And again, Frank Fiella played my husband. Shout out to Frank. Unfortunately, he wasn't there at the premiere. I have a picture. We have a picture of Matt and I at the after party. There we are. We had a good time.
It was
a really good time. And then the next pick is the cast, some of the cast. That's most, I don't want to say even most of the cast. There's a lot of people missing. Jerry Ferretti's not in that picture. Frank Fella's not in that picture. Travis Grant, who is, so standing in the center with the, gray suit.
Lavender pants.
The gray, he's in the lavender pants. Travis could pull off lavender. Travis Grant, he's an actor and he's a comic, and he is going to do the show eventually. He said he wants to come on. He played your roommate sidekick.
Yeah, best friend, roommate. He's the rock, I guess, in the situation, because I'm not in a great mental space. Me, Bob is not in a great mental space. He has just been broken up with. We all go through some relationship drama.
Yes,
and,
yes, we do.
Bob didn't take it very well.
No, he didn't.
Did not take it very well. No.
So we have a clip that actually, thank you, George Massimillo, that he sent in. It's a clip of, I think, you and I.
Is it really?
And Frank Fiella.
Very cool.
I think.
You don't sound good.
I'm fine. I was just up all night.
Playing games.
No, I wasn't playing video games.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, there is.
Well, I don't think there is.
Hang up the phone. We gotta talk.
Oh dear, get some sleep. Maybe Lonnie will let you take a nap.
He's almost 30 years old. He doesn't need to take a nap.
But he sounds so tired.
Hang up the phone.
All right, dear. I love you.
Bye, Mom.
I love you.
I love you too, Mom.
Okay, she's gone.
So what's up?
Your mother really wants you to move down here.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Always thinking and never doing. That's your problem.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, I really want to hear this in person every day.
Shut up. Listen, I know that girl Fran you up. It happens.
I'm fine.
Yeah, but your mother isn't, and she's a pain in the So make her happy and move down here, please.
I'll think about it.
I'll get you a job with your brother-in-law. Office work, same lazy you're doing there.
Oh yeah? And where am I gonna sleep? On your couch?
As long as you need to.
Mom.
I told you to be quiet and just listen. I'm trying to have a heart-to-heart with my mother friggin' son.
I want him to know he could stay here as long as he needs to on the couch.
He can't sleep on the couch.
Of course he could stay on the couch.
Jesus Christ, he doesn't want to stay on the couch.
Guys.
You can stay here until you have your apartment.
He has an apartment, remember?
He has no furniture.
We'll bring his down
Guys.
here. See? Now you're annoying him. He's not going to come.
Look, guys, I'm already running late, so I'll call you later.
Our neighbor Tony has an apartment for you.
All right, look, I gotta go.
It's right up the block from your sister.
Okay, bye. That's good. That was very good.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
It is.
We had such a fun time. Actually, that's my house. George, I said to George, if you need a house, you could come film by B. And there's
was
another
good.
scene of us talking to you, FaceTime. And that was shot in my living room, but that scene was shot in my dining room, my kitchen. We also, that quick scene that I do as I'm coming up the steps was
Yes.
my den.
Very nice.
So, but you know, it's all in the editing.
And I will say, that scene was the most pleasant of a surprise for me watching it in the premiere because we didn't shoot the scene together.
No.
I was sitting there, we didn't, and it would have been nice if I could have worked with you guys, but because it's through the phone, we didn't have to be together for
we
it.
didn't.
And so I shot the scene, I had the director reading me the lines, I'm saying it. So watching it in the movie, that was the only scene I'm like, wow, I didn't know what to expect with
Well,
this.
the one where we FaceTime
amazing.
was hysterical
yeah, that
too.
was
I mean,
fun.
again, it's such a great movie. I know that George wants to put it in film festivals, and hopefully we can get it streaming somewhere.
I do have a piece of good news. Yes.
Oh wait, is this a Tea Time exclusive? I love Tea Time exclusives.
It is a Tea Time exclusive. I've been made aware today
Yes.
that our movie, It's Love Bro, has been nominated in the Montauk Film Festival.
Get out!
Yep. So I found out that today.
Oh, that's so
I was told by the
exciting.
director George. He said if I wanted to bring
He
it up
kept
on
it from
Tea
me.
Time.
He kept it from me, George.
Well, he wanted it to be a surprise for you.
I am thrilled.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
so thrilled. Montauk Film Festival. Oh
So
my
that'll
God.
be a lot of fun. It'll be
Oh, when
really
are we
cool.
going to that?
I believe it's the last week of July, which the hard part is that I'll be actually in the Outer Banks with family, friends, going to the Outer Banks for a week, the last week of July. So if we win any awards, which we should, and I hope we
We
do,
definitely should.
I then have to drive back from the Outer Banks, I guess Friday night through the night into Saturday, and then either get a ride or drive out to Montauk somehow to this film festival.
Wow.
I can't miss it. How can
Well,
I miss
we'll
it?
go
you know?
together if we
Yes.
have to. Me, you, and Frank.
George said we'll do like a carpool with everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
And get someone to drive so we can have some
Absolutely.
drinks, celebratory drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Make
is
a day
so
of it.
that is so exciting. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing that
of
news.
course.
George, congratulations.
Very cool.
This is very, very cool.
Yeah.
It's a really, you know, and I appreciate George beeping out there's a couple of
Yeah, a
curses,
couple curses.
Frank throws out there. I appreciate that. The one where we FaceTime, I don't think there was any cursing going on there, but it is, you know, it's not for kids. This is an adult movie.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it ran for what, like an hour and a half or something?
I think it's an hour and 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Could be
so,
wrong.
you know, and it is funny. And like you said, everyone's
Yeah.
been in love, everyone's gotten dumped, and it's very relatable. And you have a lot of funny coworkers that you
Yes.
work with. Let's not leave them out. And,
No, of course.
Jerry Ferretti was one of them, and I had him on my show, and he was great. I think everyone was well casted.
Yeah.
And I think, again, the girl that played opposite you,
Laura Gilchrist.
this was her first
Yeah.
lead in like anything, and this is huge for her. So
Yes, absolutely. I think it's huge for everybody. It's
Yeah,
huge for me. It's
it
huge for
is.
Laura. It's huge for the entire
Yeah,
cast.
yeah.
And I said it from the get go. Like I'm grateful just to be a part of it.
Yeah,
Truly,
yeah.
I you know it.
I am
And that's
too.
another thing. It's like I said before. I don't like to be the center of attention. Of course, you mentioned all these roles that I've had where I'm the lead, and it's just like I guess that's why I enjoy it because when I first started, I was an extra. On I think it was Billions, and you realize when you're an extra how much goes into getting one episode, a 5-minute sequence on air.
Yep.
And it's not just you as the actor; it's you, your co-actors, everybody behind the scenes. If the person with the boom for the sound isn't doing their job properly,
Yeah.
that scene doesn't come out it
Right,
doesn't come out right.
right,
So
right.
it really is. I got to give a lot of credit to everyone in the cast and crew, and again, just
There was
very
only
appreciative.
there was only one critique that I heard, which I told you at the party, and I told George because I was like, it's never too late.
What's that?
everyone was saying how they really wanted to see the parents one more time towards the end of the movie. I'm not giving anything away, but they just wanted to see their reaction towards the end of the movie. So I told George, I said, could always run it during the credits. I'm like,
do like a FaceTime in the car as we leave.
Right, something, George. It's never too late.
You never know.
I think that would be fun because it's fun when you put something in a credit and you don't expect it, and then all of a sudden it's there. But this was a really beautiful experience. Frank Fiella has played my husband more than once.
There you go. You guys obviously have a chemistry together.
We do. We have a very easy chemistry together, and it was great filming with him. And again, the way it was edited and put together, and like you said, we didn't have to film together, but it was put together so brilliantly.
No, everything is, you think as you watch shows and movies, like the actor, oh my God, this actor did such a great job. That's maybe 15-20% of it.
Right.
The rest of it is behind the scenes, is what they do
yes,
in
absolutely,
editing.
Because
you gotta give a shout out to all these editors.
Because you don't realize how many takes you take,
my goodness.
right? Take 34, take 21.
Yeah.
You don't realize how many times you're doing the same scene over and over and over again.
Yeah, George and Mike told me, they were like, I was like, are you guys excited for the premiere? They're like, well, we've seen every scene 5,000 times. So no, not really.
It's not a novelty for them.
Yeah.
But it was for us.
It was
and
great.
We had a packed house that night. It was at the Belmore Playhouse. And it was just a lot of fun. News 12 was there and interviewed. And it was, like I said, it was nice, again, to have your parents there, to have my mom there. And because I had done, my first movie I had done with Fred Carpenter.
Oh, really?
I played a hooker, and I was so excited. I was so excited at the end of the movie to see my name on the screen, right?
It is.
So you
it's
sit
there.
there.
It's kind of like a euphoric feeling.
And it comes up, hooker, and then next to it, it said hooker. It didn't have my name, and I was like,
what?
What happened? I was like, yeah, someone screwed up in with the editing and the creds, and my name was never there. And I was like, this has to be corrected.
My goodness.
And so that's why when we went to go see
look
Love
at
Bro.
Look at how you bounced back, though. Come on, that's amazing.
You know what I said?
Couldn't let it end there. It couldn't end there. It had to keep going.
But I said to George, I said, please do me a favor. Please make sure, because a lot of people misspell my name, because I use my maiden name, Canastraci. So if you look me up, you can look up Matt Ventry. His name's right there on IMDb. And if you go to Theresa Canastraci Farrell, I'm on IMDb, because Theresa Farrell was already taken. So I couldn't use, there was already a Theresa Farrell on IMDb.
Okay.
So I threw in my maiden name, to differentiate myself, obviously, from, I couldn't use Farrell. So I just threw in my maiden name.
Well, it makes it more unique.
It does, and whatever. So you can check us out on IMDb. I have a really quick clip from Pancakes and Syrup that a friend of mine put up for me. But you and I talked about how important it is, to get a reel, have a reel, so people could see, what you're doing. So what do you have? Wait, you know what? No, we're going to take my last break, and then we're going to find out what he has going on now. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Theresa Farrell.
And who's the best actress you know?
Theresa Farrell.
And who's the best cast member in Bad Boy?
Teresa Farrell.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrell.
Stop. Who's your favorite guinea?
Teresa Farrell.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrell.
All right, Chuck. I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me tonight. I have my friend and actor Matt Ventry here with me. We were talking about obviously his career and how he started back in 2018. A friend of his suggested, hey, why don't you take an improv class? And
the rest is
think
history.
about where you would be right now if you didn't. How crazy is that? How things happen for a reason.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I could have been, you know, I guess, you know, I graduated. I said that I didn't have the best time in college. I mean, I enjoyed my friends. I enjoyed my time, but I went through a lot of things just mentally going on in college. I just didn't really know who I was at the time. And so I graduated and I got into this job where I wasn't super thrilled with what I was doing.
Right.
And maybe because of my experience in college and me not being, you know, not having the best time that I could, I just knew that I didn't want to relive that. Like we said, experiences, as we talked about earlier, that you learn from your experiences. And so yeah, after a year of working at this job, I was like, I could see myself blinking and then having my life go by, and it's like,
what did I
am
do?
I proud of what I did with my life. And now with this path, at least I can say that I'm trying to do something that's bigger than myself. And I take a lot of pride in
So,
that.
you know, a lot of people know that as actors, a lot of us have to do other things to supplement incomes to live. So what do you do?
I work at a funeral home.
Okay.
I work at my local funeral home. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, when I first started acting, I kind of just fell into it. When I first started acting, I quit my full-time job, and like any other starving actor, I needed money.
Yep.
Got a job at a restaurant, and my best friend's uncle was a funeral director. He
Really?
got me in touch with one funeral home. It ended up being that I was working I was like a freelance contractor for like 4 or 5 funeral homes. Did that for a while, and then I actually got invited to work as you know, I am the assistant director at my local funeral home.
Okay.
So that's in my town, Garden City, Fairchild. Shout out to Fairchild and Garden City.
Yeah.
And
you've been there how long doing this?
2 years.
Okay.
2 years I've been doing it.
Yeah.
You know, on and off with as far as being like full time, part time. It depends on how often.
All right. Well, it's
I'm
a different veer, or you know, usually people say waiter. I know a lot of actors who are waiters and waitresses, but this is a different type of thing. And do they work with you as far as if you have to take off to film?
Yes,
which is great.
They're amazing.
You need something that's flexible, and because you know, as well as I do, you really need to be ready at a drop of a hat.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I give them, you know, I give them a lot of praise because they're very supportive of me, and I try to do everything I can to work hard, but they know that you know, at the end of the day, that this is kind of the biggest, you know, the focus of my life right now.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that I get asked all the time, of course, it's like, how did you end up in this field? Hey, you don't seem like you would be in this field. You have too much of a character for this field. And isn't it so depressing? And the one thing I tell people all the time is like, to me at least, it couldn't be more opposite. You know, you walk in every day, you know, if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you're feeling depressed, feeling, you know, in a bad mood,
then
maybe
you realize
something happened.
you woke up.
Exactly. You know, and you really appreciate life. You don't take it for granted. And I feel like people take life for granted so often, and then, you know, you blink and it's over.
Yeah.
And so
true.
this
So
really
true.
puts everything into perspective, and it makes you appreciate it that much more. And also, you know, the instant gratification of helping a family member, you know, for better, for worse, this death is inevitable. It happens to all of us.
Yeah,
and
it's
if
gonna
there's
happen.
anything that I can do to help a family through such a hard time, you know, that's what makes me feel, that's the satisfaction of like, you know, doing some kind of justice in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was just telling a friend that my mother said the smartest thing my grandfather ever did was he prepaid for his funeral.
That is an option.
And it is an option. And a lot of people don't want to talk about the inevitable.
No, nor do they want to pay for it or pick out a casket for themselves.
Well, yeah, it's seriously. Because, you know, as loved ones, we want the best thing and the best this and the best that. You don't have to have that.
No.
My grandfather prepaid his funeral, and my mother said it was the best thing he ever did because when he passed,
she knew exactly what he wanted.
She just had to show up.
Yeah.
She didn't have to make all these decisions when you're emotional like that.
Yeah, when you're in that headspace.
And he probably saved a few dollars paying for it in advance.
I think so. I think you pay whatever the rate is at the time. At the time you pay for it, and that's kind of like the advantage because with inflation, of course, that inflates as well, but that stays the steady price.
Yes.
The hard part about that is paying everything in that moment. you know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So we have like 6 minutes left. I want everyone to go to Matt's website. It's mattventry.com, and you can look at his bio. You can look at his reel. Just see what's going on there. But what do you have going on right now in your life?
As far as acting goes, I recently signed with a new agent.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's Stephanie Talent Entertainment. It's a New York agent, and she's been pushing me out for a couple roles. I actually had an audition recently for a Netflix miniseries. It was a co-star role.
Nice.
And I didn't get it, but
Okay.
you know, like you said, you have to be ready to experience failure and not let it get to you, because it's gonna happen more often than you think.
Yeah.
And but just to know that I'm in the realm of people.
You're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm in the ballpark. It's just a matter
we're on the
of,
playing field. Damn it.
Yeah, it's just if you're gonna catch the
It's
ball or
just
not.
getting up a bat and
There you go.
see what happens.
Yeah, so I have that agent, and I actually got that agent through one of these websites, Actors Connection.
Right.
Which I suggest to every young actor to get an Actors Connection account.
How young do you have to be?
As young or old as you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Are you
so there's
kidding
no
me?
age limit.
No,
That's good.
Yeah, I think you can. Maybe your
All
parent
right.
has to sign up if you're below 18.
Yeah.
I don't know how
minor.
that works. Yeah. As far as the minor contracts and whatnot. But yeah, they want all different shapes, sizes, ages.
Yeah.
Everybody's a character in their own
Different
way.
walks of life, people.
Yeah.
And what about this bi-coastal thing that I heard
I
about?
have a long-lasting bi-coastal management group, Stein Entertainment Group. They've been great. I signed with them. I believe I signed with them maybe right around the time of COVID. I think 2021.
Wow.
I've been with them since, and they've got me out for a couple roles. They have representation on both the West and the East Coast.
Right, which is nice.
So it's nice to have people now, you know, fighting for me. That
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
believe in what I can do.
Because they don't get paid unless you get paid.
Exactly.
So, you know, that's what I want. I want someone like Jerry Maguire. I want someone who believes in what I can do and is in my corner.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
So we'll see. You know, it's still still a very even with the all these individuals in your corner, it's still a very fruitful business.
Yes.
It's you're fighting against the numbers. You know, it's a numbers game, and
it is.
You got to just stay positive through everything.
It is. It's being at the right place at the right time. It's also networking. It's making connections, and you know. I'm a very spiritual person, and my new saying is let go and let God, because we really, and you know, in the industry you work in, we have no control over anything in our lives. So, you know, I just have to believe that whatever's meant to be for me is going to happen.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, everything happens for a reason.
Amen.
One way or the other, you know.
It's so
you
true.
stub your toe, you wonder why that happened, but everything else happens for a reason.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Getting back to It's Love, Bro. How you look playing the lead? You're in like almost every scene in the movie.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So how long did you film? Like how long did it go for you?
I think it was, what was it? It was last summer, wasn't it? Or
Yeah, because for Frank and I, it was a day. We did all 3 scenes at my house one day.
I don't even remember how many days I filmed. We filmed a lot. It was more than, it's got to be anywhere from 15 to 25 days. And they were some full days. You know, they were from getting breakfast in the morning till, okay, it's midnight, time to wrap up. You know, it's like, it was like those kind of days. But that's when I realized, like, I can do this. I really do. I enjoy every minute of being on that set and doing a take 100 times.
Right, because that's our happy place.
That's exact.
I know.
But it's just, and you don't realize it until you're actually in it. But it's like you do one take and it comes out so well, and they're like, okay, now we got to do it again from this angle and this angle.
Yes.
And that angle.
Because unless you have,
it's crazy.
3 or 4 cameras to capture that one scene at that one moment, and they're still going to do another take. You just don't do one take, and then everything, like you said, is edited all together. But yeah, if you have one camera, it's going to be a long.
And that's what happens with a lot of these initial, you know, teams that you'll work with starting out in the industry. That's what it is. It's very low budget, very low. A lot of the equipment they have is very, you know, it's numbered. You know, they don't have a big expense pool to work with. So. Yeah, it's like I said, you work through, you got to get through the mud to walk on the other side. This all, it builds your character for when you actually hopefully do get on a professional set one day, you know, one of these SAG sets, as they call the union sets.
And we're going to give before we go, we're going to give a shout out to our friend Johnny. Johnny was in acting class with us. He auditioned for Gravesend, and he's playing Chaz Palminteri's son.
It's amazing.
And that's how he got SAG.
Well, as soon as I found out he got it, I reached out to him and I said, congratulations.
Absolutely.
Seeing you get this role, it makes it seem possible.
Absolutely,
it does,
doesn't it?
Because it doesn't matter who it is. It's just the fact that like a friend of ours, a co-actor of ours, got such a great role, and like good for him. He's an amazing actor, works hard. But just to see that it works, it can work.
It can happen.
You just got to stay focused and stay positive.
And never give up. Never give up.
Absolutely.
Ever. Well, listen, I want to thank you for coming here and doing this with me. I loved not working with you.
Yeah, I know.
And I hope that in the future we do get to do scenes actually face to face in the future. In the meantime, I wish you all the best life has to offer for you.
Thank you, and you the same.
Thank you.
Really
My door's always open if you ever want to come and promote anything you want. In the meantime, I want to thank everyone for watching Tea Time. I appreciate, again, your love and support. Go to mattventry.com, check him out, and also go to my page. I put up another trailer for It's Love Bro. We will keep you posted as far as when and where you can see that eventually. It is hysterical. For now, tell everyone you love them, and I'll see you next week. Ciao, everybody.
Thank you.